Hello everyone, my name is Pelumi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I vlog about lessons from my life as relating to singlehood, motherhood, wifehood, academics, career, and a whole lot of things. A big thank you to my subscribers, both old and new. I appreciate you so much. So I started sharing about my social media break story, and in my last video, I talked about why I went on a social media break. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the lessons I learned from the whole social media break experience, as well as the things I was able to achieve during the social media break. So the first lesson I learned from the whole social media break experience is the fact that when God gives you an instruction, He also helps you to fulfill the instruction. God does not just give you an instruction and leave you hanging and say, okay, I've given you the instruction, now figure out how you're going to do it. He gives you an instruction and He still stays by you and supplies you with the energy to carry out the instruction. Except if you are not open, except if you are adamant, you are not interested in carrying out the instructions that God has given you. But once the Lord knows that you have an open heart, He has given you an instruction and He knows that you want to actually do what He has asked you to do, but all you lack is the ability to do it. Then He supplies you with the ability to do it. He supplies you with the energy to do it. I experienced that actually when God gave me the instruction to go on the social media break. Initially, I didn't receive that ability to do it because initially I was not open to it. I felt like, no, I can't do this. How can I? In fact, I told God that this can't even be you. How would you tell me to go on the social media break? So at that moment, I know that the energy to do was available, but I didn't key into it. Now, the moment I became open to that instruction and I was ready to know more, and I began to say, God, okay, you're asking me to go on a social media break experience, but it's really difficult for me to do. Can you please help me? That moment, I experienced a turnaround from not wanting to go on the break to actually becoming eager to go on the break. So it was just something very immediate, I tell you. Immediately, I remember I was in church that day when I was telling God that, God, I need the spirit of might. And from that moment onward, it was just as if I was the one that gave myself the instruction to go on a social media break. I began to look forward to it. I began to really get excited about the fact that I was going on a break. And months earlier, I wasn't like that. I had thought and thought about it. I had even concluded that no, I could not do it. But at the point when I switched to being more open to God's instruction and actually willing to go about it, but just recognizing the fact that I am not able to do it, like I'm weak, so to say. At that moment, I experienced that energy of the Spirit, and I really bless God for it. So I learned that lesson that when God gives me an instruction, He supplies me with the energy to do it. I can just rest on Him. I can't struggle. I don't need to struggle to carry out the Lord's instruction. I just need to rely on Him and just tell Him how it is, how difficult it is for me to actually do what He has told me. And I'm going to experience His rest. I'm going to experience His push. I'm going to experience His might in carrying out the instruction. And the second lesson I learned from this experience is the fact that God is faithful and is very intentional about our lives and is a master planner. And why did I say this? Talking about my social media break experience, I realized that it was actually something that was needed for me. And initially when God brought it to my attention, I dismissed it. But this intentional God didn't give up on me. Months after, He still brought it up again. And this time around, He spoke in a language that I could understand. He came down to my level and ensured that I understood what He was trying to talk about. If you remember, I said that at that time, every message I listened to was always pointing towards that direction. In fact, if I was listening, if my pastor was preaching on, let's say, prosperity, I was going to be hearing something entirely different. He was speaking. In fact, it got to a point that even if someone was preaching about marriage, I was going to be hearing something different. I'm telling you, I was going to be hearing something different, something that had to do with God giving someone an instruction and that person obeying the instruction. So it was just like that God was just on my case. Why? Because He knows that I needed that break at that time, and he ensured He came to meet me. He met me at the point of my need. He came to speak in language in a language that I would not understand. He came to really, he really broke it down for me and ensured that I went on that break. And that's why I said that God is faithful. That's the lesson, another lesson I learned, that God is faithful. He's a master planner. He's intentional about our lives. Even much more. At that time, even I didn't know. I have not even realized the need for a break, but God has seen into my future. He knows that for me to step into the next season, I need this break. And it's okay. At the time when he brought it up initially and I didn't get it, it started with a nudge in my spirit. I didn't get it, but then months after, he said, "No, I'm not going to give up on this girl. I'm still going to bring it up again." And he brought it up again, and he broke it down into pieces and spoke in a way that I could really get it, and followed me through, still supplied me with the energy to do it, and eventually I was able to do it. And so I'm just grateful to God for that. So I'm going to stop right now because I don't want this video to be too long. And I'm going to do one more video on my social media break story, which will be talking about the things I was able to achieve during the social media break. I hope you have been blessed by this video. Thank you so much for listening, and so please kindly subscribe if you want to. But I really wish that you subscribe. Thank you so much, and bye bye.